Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I analyze the interview of Meghan Markle's family that aired on Australia's 7 News? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoy this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I will put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background of the situation, move to the summary of the interview, then offer my analysis. 7 News in Australia interviewed 3 members of Meghan Markle's family for a special that aired in April 2023. Meghan's father, Thomas Markle Sr., her half-sister, Samantha Markle, and her half-brother, Thomas Markle Jr. Let's take a look at the backgrounds of these 3 individuals, starting with Thomas Markle Sr. When Thomas was married to his first wife, he had 2 children, Samantha Markle and Thomas Markle Jr. Thomas divorced in 1973 and married for a second time in 1979. He had a daughter named Rachel Meghan Markle in 1981. She went by her middle name. In 2018, Meghan became the Duchess of Sussex when she married Prince Harry. Thomas was a lighting director for many years. He worked on the TV show General Hospital, as well as other projects. In 1990, Thomas won $750,000 in the California State Lottery. He would declare bankruptcy in 2016. This happens to many lottery winners. In 2018, as Meghan was preparing to marry Prince Harry, Thomas ran into some difficulties in his relationship with his daughter. He made a deal to sell staged photographs to the paparazzi. Thomas did not attend the wedding. After the wedding, Thomas participated in a few paid interviews. During one of these, he said that Meghan would be nothing without him. In early 2019, Thomas leaked a letter that was sent to him by Meghan. In the letter, she accused her father of breaking her heart into a million pieces and exploiting her relationship with Prince Harry. During an interview after the letter fiasco, Thomas said that he still loved Meghan and wanted to know what he did wrong so he could fix it. Now moving to the background of Samantha Markle. Samantha was born in 1964, so she is 17 years older than Meghan. At some point, Samantha fell from a rope swing and sustained serious injuries. She cannot see out of one eye and has paralysis on her left side. In 2008, she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. At one point, Samantha worked as a mental health counselor. Samantha claimed that the last time she spoke to Meghan was in 2014. She was not invited to the wedding in 2018. Like Thomas, Samantha has made several unkind statements about Meghan. She said that Meghan was not befitting of a royal family member and was a shallow social climber. In May 2018, the same month when Meghan married Prince Harry, Samantha claimed that she was chased by the paparazzi as her boyfriend was driving. They crashed into a concrete barrier and Samantha was injured. The police said that there was no evidence to support this claim of a collision. Samantha has been placed on a watch list maintained by a British police mental health unit. The list contains people who may be obsessed with members of the royal family. Samantha sued Meghan for defamation in 2022, making a number of claims. One complaint Samantha had was based on a statement Meghan made during the notorious interview with Oprah Winfrey. Meghan said, quote, "I grew up as an only child, which everyone who grew up around me knows. I wish I had siblings. I would have loved to have siblings," unquote. The last family member in the interview was Thomas Markle Jr., who was referred to as Tom Jr. He was born in 1966, so he is 15 years older than Meghan. According to Tom Jr., he last saw Meghan sometime around 2011 and was not invited to the wedding in 2018. Tom Jr. has been highly critical of Meghan. He said that she was a jaded, shallow, conceited woman. He called her phony and said that she turned into a different person. Now moving to a summary of the interview. Much of this is paraphrased. This interview took place in Tampa, Florida, where Samantha Markle lives. All 3 family members answered questions individually and as a group. Thomas Markle Sr., who recently had a stroke, talked about how Meghan lived with him from the 6th grade on. At one point, she was a homecoming queen, he wished that they could sit down and talk in order to work out their differences. Thomas suggested that Meghan loved him, he was her hero, and then suddenly he was thrown out of her life. He never hears from Meghan and has never seen his grandchildren. Meghan didn't even have contact with him after he had a stroke. Thomas questioned whether or not it was worth it for Meghan to dump him for the rest of his life. He deeply regretted staging those photographs, but when he was talking about leaking the letter, he didn't seem quite as upset. Speaking directly to Meghan, Thomas said, quote, "I love you. How can I fix this? I'm open to any type of conversation," unquote. Tom Jr. really didn't have a major role in the interview. Essentially, he implied that Meghan should make contact with her father. Samantha, on the other hand, was quite vocal. She once again complained about Meghan's statement about being an only child. Samantha suggested that Meghan had to inflate who she was to be good enough to join the royal family. Meghan would still be a waitress if not for Thomas. Samantha believes that Meghan has a codependent relationship with Harry and that Meghan has no empathy. Now moving to my analysis. Here are my thoughts on a few areas that stood out to me in this case. Here I will be offering theories. These are just my opinions. Item number 1. At first glance, a person may be compelled to have compassion for Thomas Markle Sr. After all, staging photographs is not the worst action that a father could take. Thomas was probably just looking to make some money. Clearly, money management is a weak area for him. When considering the totality of his behavior, however, Thomas does not appear to be genuine. His contempt for Meghan is not particularly well hidden. At one point during the interview, when referring to his daughter, Thomas said, "I refuse to be buried by her." This is hardly the statement of someone who truly wants to reconcile. If Thomas was serious about reconciliation, why would he say terrible things about Meghan? I think that Thomas is really just interested in money and fame. He's a lot like Meghan. They both want to make a living by complaining and playing the victim. Thomas may be upset because Meghan is doing a better job at playing the victim than he is. Item number 2. Samantha seems to be obsessed with Meghan and envious of her. The lawsuit that she filed does not appear to have any merit whatsoever. Meghan has the right to discuss her feeling that she was an only child. She wasn't stating a fact when she said that. Meghan wasn't saying that Samantha didn't exist. Rather, she was stating her own subjective experience of her childhood. It is not unusual for a person with much older siblings to think of themselves as an only child. Samantha promotes this narrative where Meghan changed into some type of terrible person when she became a duchess. Yet it is Samantha who can't seem to stop talking about Meghan. Perhaps they both underwent an undesirable transformation. Item number 3. Tom Jr. made hardly any contribution to the interview at all. It's not really clear why he was even included. The only thing I can think of is that he lives not far from his father in Mexico. Maybe Thomas Markle Sr. did not want to travel to Florida alone. This put Tom Jr. in a position of having to think up something to say about Meghan in order to justify his presence in the interview. Item number 4. There are many people who do not like Meghan Markle. She has been described as arrogant, envious, vindictive, immature, and as having a sense of entitlement. When looking at the behavior of her family members, Meghan's actions make more sense. Perhaps the apple did not fall far from the tree. Item number 5. There are many reasons why Meghan may avoid these 3 family members. It could be that she feels as though she's too important to deal with them, but it could also be that they give the impression of being self-centered, greedy, disingenuous, and obsessed with her. After watching their behavior, I think Meghan is justified in cutting them off. If she communicates with them, she can almost be certain that whatever she says will be used against her and be made public. She can never trust them. I don't know if Meghan actually wants to reconcile or not, but I don't think her family members have left her any way to repair the situation. They have destroyed the possibility through their own behavior, even if Meghan was interested. Item number 6. When the Markle family speaks out against Meghan, I think they help her and hurt her at the same time. On the helping side, the inauthentic and obsessed appearance of the family justifies Meghan cutting them off. It supports the idea that she really didn't have any choice. It also makes Meghan more relatable to the public. Many people have challenging family members. Now they can understand where Meghan's coming from. On the hurting side, Meghan cannot escape the fact that these people are actually related to her. Their unbecoming behavior reflects on her, whether fair or not. The more they misbehave, the more they drag Meghan down to their level. Meghan has worked hard to represent herself as the pinnacle of class and style. She places herself above ordinary people and has tried to manipulate the public into believing that she is a great person who should be honored and revered by society. Every time Markle family members criticize Meghan, they remind people of this manipulation. They remind people where Meghan came from, who she was associated with. They point out the fact that Meghan is not really special. This has to be particularly painful for Meghan, to face the reality that she only became famous because she married a prince. Her family members have become a symbol of her own shame. Item number 7. What would be Meghan's best tactic for addressing the Markle family uprising? It would appear as though she has selected the strategy of ignoring them. Is this the best idea? Meghan is in a no-win scenario as far as her family members. I think ignoring them is probably the best strategy because it places Meghan on a higher level and makes her look dignified. During the times that Meghan has chosen to descend into the drama, her reputation has been damaged. I don't think that Meghan can afford to give her family members any attention at all, because, as I mentioned, they will use it against her. If she does choose to address the behavior or allegations of her family members at any time, she would be better served by not making cryptic statements. Meghan's preferred communication method is oblique, insincere, insidious, and arrogant. A better strategy would involve Meghan being direct, authentic, and definitive. To accomplish this, she will have to separate from the traditions of her family, which may be impossible. Moving to my final thoughts. If Meghan's family members have a point about Meghan's bad behavior, it became lost in their own unflattering actions. One theme of their criticism is that Meghan has not coped well with her fame, like she does not deserve attention. The problem is, her family members have not coped well with Meghan's fame either, and they certainly don't deserve any attention whatsoever. This family interview added to Meghan Markle's reputation for showing people the ugly side of situations. For example, the ugly side of royalty, self-serving documentaries, talking in circles, boring podcasts, out-of-control self-confidence, undeserved fame, playing the victim, and now, through the family interview, the ugly side of Meghan Markle having family members who are a lot like her. Those are my thoughts on the Meghan Markle family uprising. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be informative. Thanks for watching.